Well, the most important thing is self-esteem. The people that we read about, the people that we admire, the Elon Musks, the Steve Jobs, the Warren Buffetts, etc., all have one thing in common. They have extremely high self-esteem. And of course, you've heard me say this before, self-esteem is built the first 7 or 8 years of life. And unfortunately, we're with our parents the first 7 or 8 years of life. Ergo, we don't have too much high self-esteem. But to build high self-esteem, and the way you build high self-esteem, if you're 25, 35, or 45, is to be around, surround yourself with other people that have high self-esteem. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And so you can reverse your childhood by who you associate with.
What all you guys are describing so far is you're afraid. Or as they say in Scotland, you're afeared. You're afeared. Because unless your parents were Agassi and Steffi Graf, both world champion, gold medalists in the Olympics, it's not likely you were trained to be a high performance person. Unless your name is Rockefeller or Kennedy or whatever, it's not likely you were trained to be a high performance person. And so you're afraid. You're afraid of making a mistake. You're afraid of what everybody's going to think. You're afraid of looking stupid. One of the characteristics of high performance people are they engage in self-deprecation. Well, most people in this audience would rather cut their fucking toe off than have people laugh at them. Because you have low self-esteem. 95% of everything you do has nothing to do with making any money. 95% of, no matter what business you're in. So when you say I try to focus on 1 or 2 things a day, try to focus on one thing from 9 till 10 in the morning. If it's not complete by 10, focus on it from 10 to 11. If it's not complete focus. For those of you that have more than one business, just turn the keys on them. Everybody, for Stein, turn the key, close them. Close them down. Close them down. 98% of all the business ideas that come to me aren't worth a shit. And 75% of those 98 you've been fiddle-farting around with for years. That's your way of not having to face the fact that 1, it was a shit idea, and 2, you got to come up with another idea, and 3, you can procrastinate. It's like, again, I go back to a bad relationship. She wants to get rid of you, but oh God, I got 6 years invested in this asshole. Or he wants to get rid of her. The girls seem to be smiling more about this than the guys. I mean, the devil you know isn't as bad as the devil that you don't know. That's right. That's right. Keep shaking your head up and down. That's right. So you just eliminate most of it. Go back and find, where did you make your money last month? If you're engaged in stuff that you didn't make any money in the last 6 months, close it down.
I'm the only speaker that you're ever going to hear that really, with all his heart, doesn't give a shit. If I leave here you liking me, I did something wrong. I fucking did something wrong. I'm not here for you to like me. I'm here as a favor to Michael, my mentee, for 20 years. I'm not here, if you all died today, I don't give a shit. And I mean it. But Steve Jobs didn't give a shit about you either. Warren Buffett doesn't give a shit about you today. Elon Musk doesn't give a shit unless you're going to buy a Tesla car. Don't you understand? Don't you get it? You think Elon Musk wants to fit in? We know the answer is no, right? You want to fit in because you had poor role models at home. Most everybody in this room is a pleaser. You want to be liked. When I read about that people commit suicide because they were unliked on Facebook, it makes me sick to my stomach. How can the world get that fucked up that because of fucking Facebook, people are going to kill themselves? What have we come to? God Almighty. Don't you see there's something fundamentally wrong with that? In that regard, the Chinese, they're banning Facebook. But 98% of the high-performance people are introverts. 98% of the high-performance people on the planet, they want to be liked. 98%. We're talking, I'm at the cutting edge, the hard edge. He's not at the hard edge. He's someplace in the middle. But being liked doesn't get you a raise when you're working for wherever you're working for. Efficiency, accountability. We have another test. It's called Super Success Test. 98.4% flunked that test because we decided to make a softer test. Okay, well, maybe the guys really believe that they shouldn't punch the guy's fucking, stab him in the eye with a knife for spitting on your mama. Okay, we'll do a new test. It's called the Super Success Test. So we ask softer questions, hoping, praying that the results are going to be better. Boy, never underestimate how wrong you can be, kids. So the softer test was based on what kind of sacrifices are you willing to be super successful? 60 hours a week. Nobody is willing to work 60 hours a week to be successful. Nobody's willing to miss an anniversary, wedding anniversary to be successful. Nobody is willing to miss a holiday. If you booked a holiday and something important happened in business, would you tell your family to go on the holiday without you? And you're not going to go. Nobody said yes. And it's got 27 questions or 26 questions, and they flunked that test worse than the other test because you're not willing to make any sacrifices to be high performance. I still work 50, 60, I don't consider it work. I still work 50, 60 hours a week. And I haven't had to work in 35 years. I tell you to set goals beyond your lifetime. I tell you to set goals as soon as humanly possible. When kids come to me, they want to make $1 million, 10 million, and then when they've made 100 million, they say, Mr. Pena, we would have never, ever dreamt that we could create 100 million until we met you. You will never exceed your highest expectation. You will never exceed your highest, craziest thought. Never. That's a guarantee. And so then why, other than you've been taught by your parents in conventional wisdom, to set low goals? They've told you, the theory is you set low goals so then you can stair-step achievement and you won't be as disappointed when you fail. That's the theory. But normally the person or the persons that have proposed that theory are poor. Are poor.
Forget your fucking weaknesses. Forget that shit. Beef up your strengths to the extent that you got any. And everybody's got at least one strength. Play off your strengths. It's a lot easier to make your strengths better than your weaknesses good. Play off your strengths, And dress the part. Dress for success. People will give you the benefit of the doubt. You don't understand that looking for money in deals is a full-time job. You hear me flapping my old lips about it, but looking for money in deals is a full-time job. Looking for money in deals is a full-time job. And you can't outsource it. You heard Matt say, I outsourced it, I hired somebody to make the calls. Doesn't work. Why? Matt said because they don't have the passion. And they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You give some guy in Cebu, Philippines a script, he'll say the script, but that's it. He can't sell it, so it's got to be you.